you're shattering, shattering.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Sim Twins. My name is Brooke, and today we are doing another speed build video. Now, this speed build video is very fun because I decided that I wanted to create a house inside of a hillside, so I hope that you all enjoy it. Before we get too far into that video, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and you turn on those notifications so you know every time we post a new video. But anyway, let's talk about this build. So I put this build in the world of Glimmerbrook, but I really think now, as I look back on what I did with this build, that it would fit into the world of Sulani very well, especially in the area where the little volcano is, because I added in some tropical plants and all of that stuff, and it looks like it could be built into the side of the mountain. So I really think that it would work there in your save, but honestly, you could put this wherever you want. One of the things that I have such a trouble with when doing all of this landscaping and terraforming inside of The Sims is that nothing around the area where I usually build tends to have mountainous spots. It's all pretty flat. So it's really kind of hard to try and imagine that this is going to look normal when everything else is just like, oh, you just randomly come up onto a hill and there's a house there. So that's the reason why, like, in my opinion, terraforming could be improved a little bit in The Sims 4 just by creating environments that make it so that people want to blend in with the landscape and want to blend in with the mountains, places, and everything, which is why I feel like this build would fit really well in Sulani near the volcano, because you can say that it's being built into the mountaintop. And I actually did this build based off of a picture that I found on YouTube. No, not YouTube. I found on Google Images because I wanted to find some inspiration about what this house should look like, how it should be. And this one was really interesting. It's very modern and it kind of has a little bit of like terracing along with it, and you have different levels. So I really, really liked it. And I honestly really like how it turns out. It's a pretty small build. I did not turn it into a tiny residential because I think that beneath the area where you have the outside living space, that place counts as tiles. So I think that this build probably uses more than the regular tiny home tiles of 100 as the max. So it's not considered formally a tiny house, but it is pretty tiny in its layout. We do end up using the Murphy bed instead of having a real bed, so we can have a little area so your Sims can entertain and that kind of stuff. But I just really wanted to focus mainly on the outside landscaping and wanting to make it really represent how that picture looked like. And so I wanted to make sure that the little mountain in the back, I guess, fit the roof line, so it was even with the roof line. And I added a flat roof on top of here, and that I extended across the mountain little area. So it does look like it's blended in more to the roof, to the hillside. And I added in the eco lifestyle little green shaded stuff for the rooftop. And I really like that. I also used one of these roofs pieces and I wanted it to blend a little bit more into the sides, because the thing about the Sims whenever you're doing terraforming, especially if you don't smooth out the edges, is that everything looks brown. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of hide that up just a little bit by using this roof piece. And one of the fun things about what happens with this roof piece later on is that it becomes a little space, added space in your home, where I put in some planter boxes so your Sims can go in and put their plants there. I just really thought that that was a very cool idea. And I did it mainly because I wanted this to be blended into the hillside a little bit more. I really liked that. And a lot of the ideas that I do with this build came from the wonderful people over in Twitch. So I stream on Twitch at least twice a week, and you can follow us. Our link is in the description below, but that is actually where I built this home. And so I just really like having the interaction with the Twitch and hearing what they have to say about what I'm building and to get any feedback from them in real time. And I really love doing that. But I really just wanted this house to be as modern as possible. I wanted to use the eco lifestyle windows that kind of jutted out, but it didn't really match the picture in my mind. So I just went with the flat ones. And I think that that turned out really, really well. And it allowed me create that little um to create a very modern style build. And here I am working on a little bit more, making sure that everything is the same height. And I also add in a little archway so that you can get into the area where your Sims can do their gardening and everything like that. But I really wanted this outside to feel very nice and grand. And I wanted the house to feel like it was an extension of the outdoor space. And one of the ways that I like to do that is by using all of those large windows. So you'll see that I did a bunch of windows everywhere, and I just really wanted them to stick out. And one of the things that was kind of hard about this was figuring out how I wanted to add stairs so that your Sims can get up there. We did player test this, and so it is totally usable for your Sims, and you can download it off our gallery. Our gallery ID is the Sim Twins 14. We would love for you to download our stuff and let us know on Twitter over at TSim Twins, or just anywhere you would like to let us know that you're using our builds. We really, really enjoy that you guys want to use our builds in your game, because I spend so much time trying to get better at building, and I want to do things that are unique and different. And I know that The Sims has been around now for over 20 years, or almost, yeah, over 20 years. It was their 20th anniversary this year. And so there has been a lot of creativity from this game, from this community. And so I know that a lot of the things that I do have probably been done by other simmers, but that's totally fine to me. I like to think that I am always trying to put my own spin on the same formula that other people have done. And that is what I wanted to do with this house in the hill. A lot of people have done hillside houses or underground houses, and I wanted to try my luck with it. And I really enjoyed the finished product. I thought that it looked very nice and very clean in the end, and I added in a lot of greenery, and it really blends into the outside. And one of the things that I did on this little outside porch is that in the picture that I saw, there was kind of these different parts of the outdoor area, and so I kind of gave it like a tatami feel. I added in flooring, and then I just used those small little fences from, I think the pack was from Get to Work, and I just use those to kind of make that tatami feel. And I really loved this huge plant from Eco Lifestyle. I haven't used it before. I thought it looked really gorgeous. And then I also used the planter boxes that came with Discover University. The Discover University planter boxes I have actually never used in a build, but I really liked them. They were very different in their shapes, and I thought they just framed up the area with the staring so well. And then on the inside, I kind of tried to go with a neutral palette at the end, but the finished product is actually very colorful, which I kind of like that because the walls are kind of that darker color and you have more neutrals on the walls. So I kind of tried to go with more colors when it comes to all of the stuff that I put into the house, and I really like that. And I added in the beautiful Bougainvillea. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Bougainvillea. It's that lovely, lovely flower that came with not eco lifestyle, came with island living, and I love using it so much. It's just so pretty, and it comes in three different color swatches. I really like to use that a lot. And again, I went around and used the terrain tools a lot in this build because I really wanted the house to feel like an extension of the mountain. And I put a little outdoor seating area because the house itself is pretty small. So I thought, of course, if you're living in a house that has such gorgeous views and it's in a hillside, you probably want to spend some time outside. And so I added in that outdoor area so you could have guests come over and eat. And I also made a little bathroom in the corner. It's a 2x3, but one of the walls is on an edge, so it's a little less than 2x3. And originally, I decided to have it be open and just have a little archway to it. But in the end, I go back and just add a regular door. I thought there's enough room for a regular door here, so I put one in just so your Sims don't feel like people are watching them while they're in the bathroom. Although I think with the way that you do it, even if you kept the archway, your Sims wouldn't be thinking that people are like looking in on them, which is really weird because, they totally are, especially if you don't close the curtains, and you can't close the curtains in The Sims. But I went with a pretty dark color scheme for the bathroom. I want it to be very elegant, and I tried not to use the marble tile from Dine Out, but I loved it so much. I think I ended up not using it, even though I really, really love it. Or maybe I did. I don't actually remember, but I wanted to use this modern piece from the base game, and I used the nice slate tub that came with Seasons. I just really like that tub a lot. If you're gonna have a tub, I would go with that one, preferably. And then I, of course, had to add a little bit of detailing to the bathroom. And so in the front area, I wanted to just kind of make it feel open when you came in. And it's not really big enough room to have a living space anyway. So I added in this rug from, what pack was this? Laundry Day. Laundry Day has wonderful rugs. And I added in a little round coffee table that came with tiny living, and I really like doing this. I really like feeling like your house has a proper entryway where people can come in and they're not immediately into your living room. I just really like that. And I loved using the tiny living lights as well. The pendant lights are so pretty. And I use these huge curtains because of the fact that basically the front of this house is covered in all windows and all windows. I wanted to make sure that it felt like there was some privacy in this house. So I used these very large curtains from Dine Out, and I just placed them in different spots so it didn't completely cover the windows, but it does feel like your Sims, if they were able to close these blinds, that they could shut them all the way across at nighttime, and so people can't see into their homes when they're sleeping. And I added in a cozy little book nook over here because, as you know, I love myself a little reading nook area where you can just come and sit down. And I used the tiny living painting, and I had the coffee swatch. I loved it so much. And I added the tiny living little book thing there. I am so obsessed with the fact that they made that a proper bookshelf. And I just love doing that in small spaces. And I thought that this was a really, really nice area for your Sims to sit down, have their coffee in the morning, read the newspaper, read a book, whatever they wanted to do. And I did use the Murphy bed in this. I haven't actually tested out the Murphy bed specifically, so I don't know if my Sims are gonna die or not. But I really liked the Murphy bed that I picked out, and I decided to add in this wall for a little bit of separation between the space because it's such an open room. I wanted to add that separation in. And so on one side, you have the TV space, and the other side, you have the dining space. And I just really like that because you're looking right into the windows when you're eating, and I just love that feel. And I used the lovely picture from Dine Out because I just love how big it is, and I think it's so modern. I would love to have that picture in my house. I think it's so great. And here I am changing out from an archway to a regular door, and the kitchen area is small, I will say. And so it is basically just a galley style kitchen, but it has everything that your sim needs to create the food. I put in the nice stove from Cool Kitchen, and I used base game cabinets because the cabinets that came with with Island Living, which are the counters came with, they didn't come with their own proper cabinets. They only came with like open shelving units. And I wanted this place to have proper cabinet space because of the fact that this area is so small. In real life, you would want to have that regular space. And here I am putting in the planter boxes, as you can see, and then I'm going around putting in the final touches. I made sure to have these nice rugs so you can feel like the areas are cohesive, and put in all of those blinds so you can shut them so your Sims can have some privacy, although Sims don't really care about that. And I put in some more rugs. I used a lot of the rugs from Tiny Living and from Dine no, not dine out, and from Laundry Day because I just love them so much. And I wanted to add in a couple more details to the little kitchen space. I made sure that everything was kind of like placed off of the grid so it doesn't actually get in the way of prep work, which is what I really like doing when you're in a small kitchen area like this. And I added in originally these industrial looking lamps, but I decided to go with the fitness stuff chandelier in the end. I really, really like how that looks. I also made sure to put in a trash can because I was doing this on stream. I remembered that for some reason. And then outside, you have a little place where you can get some sun. But that is all for the build. I hope you all liked it. Please make sure that you download it off of our gallery. Again, our gallery ID is the SimTwins14. But I will see you all in another video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you all again. Bye.
Made of glass, it seems you're shattering a part of me, and I can take it. My heart is so hollow, the blood has an echo inside of my veins. My heart is so hollow, your voice is an arrow, making the pain. My heart is so hollow.